How's it going, everybody? It's Charlie and welcome back to the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. It's time for another video. I have recovered now from COVID. I tested negative this morning, so I am feeling loads better. So I thought I'd jump on with another video. It would have been opposition focus day today. I did reach out to a few Bournemouth fan channels ahead of this weekend's game, but unfortunately they were busy and couldn't make it. So I just thought I'd jump on this afternoon with a different sort of video before the pre-match content begins tomorrow night. So this is just going to be a video of me discussing all the signings that we've made in the summer, how they're getting on at the minute, and overall who I think the best signing has been. I did put a poll out on my Instagram, Twitter, and on the YouTube community page to see what everyone else was thinking as well, and there's a lot of similar answers which I will get into. But just before I get into it properly, smash that like button, please subscribe, share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and yeah, let's get into it then. So look, the summer transfer window, was it a success? I think it was to a degree, although I do think the board, Marsh, whoever it is to blame, did neglect some important positions, i.e. the number 9, i.e. a left back, potentially another central midfielder as well. Now, all that being said, apologies. All that being said, I do think that we made some really good acquisitions for the squad and the starting 11. And we'll get into those shortly. There are some signings that we made which, let's be honest, a lot of us can't really speak much about unless you watch a lot of the under-21s football. I'll admit I don't. I don't watch much of them. I just see the odd clip on Twitter and stuff. So if I don't mention a few players, then I do apologise, but it's mainly the first teamers that I want to get into. But we'll start off. Well, I would have started off with Robles, the goalkeeper, but let's be honest, we've not seen anything from him. I'm not even sure if he's played any minutes in the under-21s. The simple reason why he was brought in was just to have an experienced figure in the dressing room for Illan Meslier, and hopefully that is doing wonders for his confidence and everything, which essentially is what he was brought in for. There's Sonny Perkins, who seems to be absolutely destroying the under-21s league at the minute. He's only 17 years old and he seems to be scoring, whether it's for Leeds, whether it's for England, under 18s or 21s, whatever age is playing at with England at the minute. Seems like a real good young talent, as there was a lot of teams that wanted him when he left West Ham and he chose to come to Leeds, which is really good for us, of course. And I know that there's a lot of fans that are calling for him to play more, but let's just calm down with him. You know, he's 17 at the end of the day, and there's a lot more that he'll probably need to improve on his game before he's even thought of in the first team picture. Also, who else did we bring in? Darko JB from Manchester City. From what I've seen of JB, he looks like a real top midfielder, someone who I do think, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he should be starting games for Leeds United's first team, but he should be in the squad a lot more and he should be getting minutes ahead of people like Matthias Klick, in my opinion. Real good ball carrier. All of the Man City fans and people within the Man City sphere have said how much of a good young player that Leeds United have managed to get from them. Obviously, he was included in the deal that saw Calvin Phillips go the other way. Don't think he was a direct replacement because they're completely different players. But yeah, hopefully Darko JB can get some minutes in the first team because I do think he would be a good player to have in and around our squad. Next up, it's Willy Gnonto, who we did see for the first time in the first team at Anfield the other day. Played a key role in Somerville's winner, which is amazing. I thought he looked really good when he come on. From what I've seen of him in the clips that I've seen of him playing for the under-21s, he looks good as well. At the end of the day, he's 18, 19 years old and he's getting picked by Mancini for Italy. So we need to be seeing more of him now. He's proven that he can do it on the Premier League stage. albeit he was only on for 20 minutes, but he played really well, I thought, given the fact that he was only on for 20 minutes against Liverpool at Anfield. So, again, I'm not even saying that he should be starting week in, week out for us, but there's a conversation to be had about having him in and around our first team squad more often, for sure. Now then, let's get into the first teamers, the starting 11 signings that Leeds United made. First up, we'll start with Rasmus Christensen, who, for me, has had a bit of a mixed start to life at Leeds United, of course. First few games of the season, I thought he was a bit shaky. He looked really nervous. And it did look like it was going to take him a while to adapt to the Premier League. A lot of fans were thinking that he was going to be another Junior Firpo. Believe me, he is not that bad. Did you see his penalty last night in that Papa John's trophy thing? Jesus. But anyway, he's never, ever going to be on Firpo's level. And there were signs there that he's a good fullback. He wasn't really getting into the opposition half as much. There was no overlaps, no decent crosses into the box. However, I do think in recent weeks, if you take Leicester out of it, because everyone was bad that night, he has been getting forward a lot more. That cross that he put in for Aronson at Anfield the other night, if Aronson scores that is a beauty of a goal. Unreal cross. He's been getting forward more. He celebrates tackles like goals. You can tell that he just gets it to be a Leeds United player. You see his celebrations at Ellen Road on the telly if it's an away game. You can see that he's really enjoying life at Leeds United, and for me, he's getting better week by week. He's one of our most improved players over the last few weeks, in my opinion, which is why I found it baffling that he got dropped against Fulham and Ayling started. Maybe Marsh fancied Ayling because Ayling has showed more going forward in his tenure at Leeds United. But I do think, Christensen, Marsh said that he was his number one target this summer. So we're going to see a lot more of him, and I do think that he is going to get even better. So yeah, really impressed with what I'm seeing over the last few weeks from Rasmus. Next then, we will go into Mark Rocker, who we signed from Bayern Munich for about 10 million quid. Mark Rocker, in terms of technical ability on the ball, is one of the best players in our starting 11 for me, behind another player that we'll be getting onto in a little bit. Mark Rocker, for me, his passing range is really, really top-notch. The only thing that I think he may need to improve on is his strength on the ball. I do think he can be a bit soft at times in losing possession. It can be quite easy to get the ball off of Mark Rocker if you pressure him. We saw that against Leicester. He was probably at fault for the first or second goal? But it was one of them anyway. And look, Mark Rocker is nowhere near a bad player at all. I think he's got really, real good technical quality on the ball. Like I just said, his passing range is good. His football IQ is up there. I just think he needs to work on his strength on the ball a little bit more. The fact that he's only played a full 90 a few times for Leeds United, maybe it's because at Bayern Munich he didn't play a lot at all and he's still finding his fitness, which to a degree I can understand, but we're about 12 games into the season now, his fitness should be there. So that's probably the only negative that I would say about Mark Rocker. Sorry, my mind went there. At the minute, but yeah, definitely an amazing addition to our first team. Right then, let's get into the top three then, in my opinion. So, who shall we start with? Because I'm going to save my best signing till last. We'll go into Brendan Aronson next. So Brendan Aronson signed from RB Salzburg. Yeah, real good quality signing. He's just an absolute pest. We saw that against Anfield the other day. He made Fabinho. I've even seen Scousers on Twitter saying that he made Fabinho look like an old man, and I think he did. Never gives players a minute's rest. If I were playing against him, I would hate him because he's just such a pest. Real good on the ball as well. He's quick. Always wanting to play between the lines. He's direct. He wants to run at players. Again, slight negatives. I think sometimes he does hold on to the ball a little bit too often, same as Rodrigo, where I get it. He's trying to find that perfect pass to lay on to a Bamford, a Rodrigo, maybe out wide to Harrison or the other player that I'll be getting onto in a bit. But I think, and again, kind of like Mark Rocker, I think he can be a little bit soft as well. He goes down way too easily. We always hate it as Leeds fans when opposition players do it. So there's no reason why we should be happy when our players do it as well. There's times when he does go down far too easily. But let's be honest, I think he's enjoying life at Leeds United as well. He's scored 1 goal against Chelsea. A lucky goal, a tap-in, but the fact that he was there in that area, he was pressuring Mendy. The other night for Rodrigo's goal, yes, he loses the ball, but he never let Joe Gomez get away. He pressured him into that awful back pass, which led to Rodrigo's opening goal at Anfield. I think he's been an unreal signing. Like I said, such a pest. You can just tell that we've got a diamond on our hands there. The Medford Messi, as a lot of people are calling him, and hopefully he can get even better and better the more time that he's at Leeds United. Next then, second to last for me has to be Luis Sinisterra, simply because there's been a few games obviously that he's missed. He missed a game against Anfield through injury. He missed the first game of the season through injury, and obviously he was suspended, I believe, against Crystal Palace after his red card against Aston Villa. Now, the positives, seems like we've got a Rafinha replacement. I'm not sure if he's on par with Rafinha in terms of quality of player, but again, he is a real quality player. How we managed to get him from Feyenoord, I do not know. The board must have probably, Orta, I'm guessing, has sold him a dream. Every time he gets hold at ball, Ellen Road rises. You can just tell there's a presence about him when he's on the pitch. Always wanting the ball. So direct, quick, skillful. And I think him, alongside Mark Rocker, are our two best technical players on the ball. He's probably our best finisher at the minute as well, if you think about it. Yes, Rodrigo has scored 6 goals now, but in terms of finishing, whether he's in the box, outside the box, I do think Cine is an unbelievable threat. Scores goals for Colombia as well. The negatives, I mean, it's a slight negative, but I think the red card against Aston Villa just showed a bit of naivety and a little bit of stupidness in that moment. I'm not going to let me judge him just based on that. I'm just saying maybe in this league you have to be really careful with things like that. Don't give the opposition ammunition to get you sent off or a booking or any negative impact on you at all. But other than that, I think Cine's been unbelievable. If we can get him back fit and we can keep him playing week in, week out, I think he'll be a real asset to this team this season and for however long he's at Leeds United as well. And last but certainly not least, who a lot of you guys on the poll, on my Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and myself, I do completely agree. For me, our best signing this summer has been Tyler Adams. Signed him from RB Leipzig for £20 million. At the time when we signed him, I thought that was a bit much for him from what I'd heard about him. I'd heard his passing wasn't great. He wasn't playing much at RB Leipzig. I was thinking, why are they wanting rid of him? Mo Kamara was heavily linked in the summer. Everybody wanted him, including myself. But I think Tyler Adams has come in this window and he has shut a lot of people up. And I say that, everyone says that he's like the American David Batty, and I couldn't disagree on that. I think, again, similar to Aronson, obviously they're both American. Maybe it's a trait that Americans have, but he seems like such a pest in that midfield. He never gives any midfielder a minute's rest. a ball winner, a tackler, likes to get into it and into the nitty gritty, loves a dirty challenge, always like up for a fight as well. Like if an opposition player fouls our player, if there's a bit of commotion, a bit of a fight, Tyler Adams is straight over there, and you saw that firsthand at Anfield on Saturday as well when Andy Robertson, who is one of the most unlikable players in the Premier League. I despise the man. But when he started on Brendan Aronson, who was first over? Tyler Adams. Who was first over to Meslier after every crucial save that he made? Tyler Adams. Not Cooper, who's your captain. Tyler Adams, who's been here, a few months? I've seen a lot of people say recently that he should be the future Leeds United captain. Again, cannot disagree. Really vocal out on the pitch. You can tell whether you're at Ellen Road or if you're seeing it on the telly. He's really vocal. Even in the games that Leeds United as a whole have been so poor this season, I don't think Adams has had a bad game. And we just saw how crucial he was against Fulham when he wasn't there due to his slight calf injury. And the fact that we heard that he was potentially going to miss the Liverpool game as well was just so detrimental. But thankfully he was fit, and it seems like he is fit now as well. Yeah, Tyler Adams, hands down, is the best signing that we've made this summer. He was brought in essentially to replace Calvin Phillips, and in his first interview he said, I'm not Calvin Phillips, I'm Tyler Adams, and I'm coming here to prove myself. And boy, has he proved himself. I would even go a little bit further and say that Adams is a better player than Calvin Phillips in this system. Maybe in the City system where they play one holding midfielder, or in the Bielsa system where he was on his own in there, maybe not. But in this system, I think Tyler Adams is much better than Calvin Phillips. I don't think that's a hot take either. I've seen a lot of people say it, and I quite agree. So yeah, a bit of a different one today, guys. I hope that you've all enjoyed it. The pre-match content will be back from tomorrow with Predicted 11, which is just my press conference reaction. It will be out a little later, as obviously now I'm negative from COVID today. I will be back in the office working tomorrow, so I will be doing it tomorrow night, followed by your match preview on Friday night, your match review after the game Saturday, final say Sunday. So basically, guys, what I'm saying is there's a lot of content over the next few days, so keep it locked at Chatting Leeds. If you've enjoyed this video, please smash that like button, please subscribe if you're brand new, and share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Cheers.